Everyone, meet Susan. She graduated near the top of her class, had a solid income, drives a sleek new car, and makes what most people would call smart money choices. Things like book shopping at Sam's Club and even owning her own apartment. But here is the twist. Despite all these so-called wins, Sophie can't seem to get ahead financially. Why? Because it's these exact choices, the ones we are told are smart, that are actually holding her back. In this video, we are going to unpack 8 common middle-class purchases that quietly drain your bank account and sabotage your financial future. Let's start with a personal story. Number 1. Buying cheap stuff that costs more in the long run. A few years ago, I bought a budget vacuum cleaner for about $100. It looked decent, had good reviews, and I figured, why spend more? But after 3 or 4 uses, it started breaking down. It was bulky, the power cord was annoying, and worst of all, it barely worked. Eventually, I gave up and I bought a Dyson vacuum cleaner for about $500. Now, here's where the real lesson hit me. That cheap vacuum cost me $25 per use before it died. The Dyson, I have used it over 50 times and it's still going strong. That's $2 per use and counting. This is what people don't realize. Cheap isn't always smart. Cost per use is what matters. And bonus, high quality items often have a resale value, while cheap products just take up space and end up in the trash. So next time, look like a steal. Ask yourself, will I actually use it more than a few times, or will I be replacing it in 6 months? If you like this video so far, please like and subscribe. Number 2. Leasing a car that eats your income. My partner and I once leased an electric car through this company. It sounded like a great deal, brand new, environmentally friendly and modern. But the lease cost us $800 per month. And here's the worst part. At the end of the lease, we didn't even get to keep the car. On top of that, charging the car in the winter was a nightmare. Batteries drained faster in cold. Long road trips were stressful. Not every city has charging stations. And overall, it just felt like a money pit. We realized we were throwing away almost $10,000 a year on a car that was rapidly losing value. So if we save $800 each month, 2 years without leasing would save us over $90,000 and $200. And that is how you save money. And we made a smarter move. We bought a solid used car in cash for $8,000. No payments, no stress, and it still gets us from A to B. Also, never forget that new cars lose the most value in the first 5 years. A car that's already 5 years old has taken that hit and holds value much more sadly. Moral of the story, your car shouldn't cost you freedom. If you're spending half of your salary to drive something flashy, that car owns you, not the other way around. What if the very things you were taught to do with money, like buying a home, going to college, or leasing a nice car, are exact things that are keeping you broke? Let me know in the comments what's one financial decision you thought was smart but totally backfired. I will be reading them. Number 3. Overspending on college degrees. I made what I thought was a smart decision. I studied for dentistry 5 years. I walked away with a diploma and a $60,000 student loan. And then reality hit me. After graduation, I was earning around $3,000 a month, working full-time, and almost every dollar I earned went straight back into the repaying debt. So basically, I worked 5 years to earn a degree just to work another 5 years to pay for that degree. I felt like I was running in circles, and what hurts the most? I realized I could have used those same 5 years to build skills that people actually pay you for. I could have started a business, created digital products, helped people with their finances, and been earning and learning the whole time. Especially today with AI, online courses, and unlimited free knowledge on the internet, you do not need a fancy degree to succeed. Instead of chasing prestige, chase value. Ask, what am I good at? What do people need and what can I build? Because that path doesn't leave you in debt, it builds your real freedom. Number 4, buying a home that traps you financially. Let me first explain house poor. House poor is when a large percentage of your income goes towards your mortgage and your housing costs, leaving almost nothing for saving, investing, or enjoying life. My brother bought a beautiful home worth of $600,000. Everybody was impressed. It was spacious, modern, and in great area. But then I saw what really happened behind the scenes. His mortgage alone was $3,000 per month, which was about 50 or 60% of his income. And that didn't even include utilities, taxes, repair, or upgrades. At first, it seems manageable until the real costs started piling up. The heating bill in the winter was about $700 a month. The boiler broke and had to be replaced. Property tax increased as the value went up. The floor had issues and had to be redone. Every month it was something. At the end of the year, it felt like every dollar he earned went back into maintaining the house. A house he barely had time to enjoy because he was working full-time to pay for it. Watching that made me think twice. I realized I do not want to own something that owns me. I do rather rent modestly, keep my costs predictable, and invest my money in things that gives me options, not obligations. Do not stretch yourself thin for a mortgage. There is nothing wrong with renting. I personally rent and I invest all of my money. Buy a home where your income can easily handle it and still leave room to live, save, and build. Number 5, paying for fun with money you don't have. Let me say this clearly. Never put a wedding, vacation, or a party on a credit card. At one point, we were planning a big wedding, a $40,000 event, but we didn't have that money. And I asked myself, is it worth it to going in debt for one day? And we decided to keep it small. A local photo shoot, a cozy home gathering, just our closest loved ones. And you know what? It was beautiful. It felt intimate, genuine, and best of all, stress-free, because we didn't blow all of our savings and I was able to invest that money back into my business. Today, I get to work on my own projects 3 days a week instead of grinding full-time just to pay off bad decisions. The freedom I have now is because I chose to live smaller then, so I could live bigger later. Don't be a slave to your desires. Delayed gratification is long-term peace. Number 6, paying too much for things you could easily make at home. After a long work week, it's tempting to treat yourself. A fancy smoothie, take out dinner, an $8 coffee, or a new skincare product. Because why not? But all that convenience adds up. What you're really paying for is not a product, but energy you don't have to make it yourself. My advice, pick a few things you love and learn to recreate them at home. Make your own smoothie with the ingredients you already have. Learn how to make your go-to coffee. Buy one high-quality beauty product and actually use it all the way through. Small changes like that save you hundreds every month, and over time, thousands. Comfort doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes it just needs a little planning and a blender. Number 7, constantly upgrading your home. I have seen this so many times, especially with people who just bought a house. They start buying new furniture, trendy home decor, lighting, patio sets, and endless upgrades because it's their dream home. But a year later, they barely use the garden. The new sofa is uncomfortable, the wall art is already outdated, and they have spent thousands trying to make the house feel complete. Here's my new rule. Only invest in things you use daily. A great bed? Yes. A good desk or chair? Absolutely. Everything else doesn't need to be perfect. And before replacing anything, ask yourself, am I replacing this because it's broken or just because I'm bored? Peace of mind comes from saying what I have is enough. Number 8, buying things just because they are on sale. Just because something is 40% on sale doesn't mean you need it. I have fallen for this trap so many times, and I do buy something only because it was on sale. That's why I now avoid big sale seasons altogether. Instead, I focus on decluttering. I regularly go through my home and ask, do I use this? Did I buy this for a reason or just because it was cheap? You don't need 10 mugs, 3 toasters, and 5 blankets. You need one that works and the discipline to stop adding more. Every dollar you save by skipping fake deals is a dollar you can invest, save, or spend, and something that truly matters. Let every dollar work for you. If you recognize yourself in any of these habits, don't feel bad. Most of us grew up thinking this was normal, but now that you see it clearly, you don't have to live a paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to stay stuck in the middle. You can be intentional and start building real freedom. If you want to learn more about saving monies and good habits, watch this video.